Welcome to Sunteck. We're glad you've chosen Sunteck as your partner in the trucking industry. Shift into success. We are all in this together. Financially, no one can succeed until we work together. Professionally, how we perform follows us throughout our careers. Our goal, provide transportation services to our customers, set realistic expectations for our customers, and deliver what we promise. Consider safety before everything else. Never sacrifice safety, ever. Treat everyone professionally. Customers, drivers and truck owners, agents and their staff, and central office staff. CSA is here to stay because it saves lives. Compliance with all FMCSA rules is mandatory. Tickets and fines for violations are expensive. Drivers with poor CSA scores will find it hard to get and keep jobs. Better CSA scores equal better customers, better paying freight, better lanes, and more load. The first CSA basic is unsafe driving. Always wear your seatbelt. It may save your life. Cell phones. Cell phone fines are up to $2,750. Remember, no reaching, no holding, no dialing, and no texting on a cell phone. No use of social media, watching a video, or other smartphone features that distract your attention from the road. Remember to obey posted speed limits. The use of radar or laser detectors are forbidden in trucks, and obey traffic control devices, signals, and traffic lights. Driver fitness basic. Are your documents up to date? Trucks and driver documents include the CDL, the medical certificate, TWIC cards and port badges, truck inspections due every 3 months, truck registrations, and hazmat testing due with the company every 2 years. CDLs. If you miss making a payment, assume your CDL is suspended. If your CDL expired, check it monthly. Is your CDL suspended? Court-ordered payments like traffic tickets, child support, or alimony, non-payment of auto insurance, and non-payment of property taxes can all cause suspension of your CDL. Is your medical certificate registered with your state's Department of Motor Vehicles? Medical certificates and long-form physicals. Physicals are only good for a maximum of 2 years and don't always expire on your birthday. Physicals good for 3 months or 6 months indicate a serious medical condition which you must get under control as soon as possible. Your medical certificate must be registered with your state licensing agency, either at your DMV or online in most states. Other driver documents include the TWIC badges and port badges. If these identifications are out of date, you can be charged hundreds of dollars in escort fees. Hazardous material drivers must be tested by Sunteck every 2 years. Truck documents include truck registrations, current cab cards must be in the truck, non-trucking or bobtail insurance certificates must be in the truck, DOT inspections, no more than 3 months old, must be in the truck, and certificates of insurance for auto liability and bobtail must be in the truck. These certificates are available at the safety department if you lose them or need new copies. Hours of service basic. The hours of service rules include the 14-hour rule, the 11-hour rule, the 70-hour and 8-day rule, the 30-minute break before 8 hours on duty, and form and manner violations. The 14-hour rule. You may not drive after being on duty for 14 hours. Example, if you start your day at 6 a.m., you cannot drive after 8 p.m. Breaks less than 10 hours do not extend this time. You can continue to do work, post-trip inspections, loading or unloading, but you cannot drive. Tips. When you start your day, count over 14 hours on your log page and make a mark. Now you know when you must stop driving and how to plan your day. You may only drive 11 hours within a 14-hour duty period. Then you must take a minimum 10-hour break. Breaks less than 10 hours do not extend this time. You are done driving if you complete 11-hour driving before you end your 14-hour duty period, or you get to the end of your 14-hour duty period even if you still have driving hours left. 30-minute breaks. A 30-minute break is required before your 8th hour on duty. The break must be logged as off-duty, line 1, or sleeper berth, line 2. Drivers may take this break while being loaded or unloaded as long as they do not participate in the loading or unloading and the drivers are not responsible for supervising the count of the load. If you take your break before the 6th hour, you are required to take a second 30-minute break after 8 more consecutive hours on duty. Tip. Take your break after your 6th hour, but before your 8th hour, and then you'll only be required to do 1 per day. 70 hours in 8 days rule. You may only drive 70 hours in any 8-day period. A 34-hour minimum break is required to restart your week. You may only restart your 8-day period once in 168 hours, or 7 days, and you must have 2 periods between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. for a valid restart. If you have questions about this rule, please contact the safety department. We'd be happy to help you understand this rule and answer any questions you have about your 70-hour and 8-day period. This is the log page we currently use. To fill it out, start by putting the date, the name of the company you work for, the tractor number, your driver code, which is the last 5 of your social security number. That's the last 5 of your social security number, and your trailer number. Then do your pre-trip inspection and log it as well as the city and state where it happened. You can abbreviate the state, but you can't abbreviate the city. Also, don't forget to put something in the commodity section. You can write the commodity as this driver did, pet food, or you can write the booking number, the load number, or the container number if you're pulling containers. Next, the driver goes up and shows that he drives until he gets to Atlanta, Georgia, where he takes a break to buy fuel and get rest. He logs his fuel stop as on duty, not driving, for at least 15 minutes required. Then he goes up to line 2 where he logs his rest break in the sleeper berth for 30 minutes. Remember, the rest break can only be logged on line 1 or line 2. Now the driver continues driving down to Lake City, Florida, where he does his post-trip inspection and then goes off duty in the sleeper berth waiting for his next dispatch. The driver totals up his hours and then adds those together to make sure that they add up to 24. Don't just write 24 in this box. Do the math and make sure you got your totals right. Don't forget to put your miles in at the top of the blue field. This driver drove 641 miles and has entered it in the boxes marked total miles driven. Don't forget to sign your log at the end of the day. This certifies that all the information you've put on the log is true and accurate. Remember to write the date, the tractor number, and the trailer number on your driver vehicle inspection report at the bottom of the log. This is done at the end of the day. This driver didn't find any defects, so he put an X in the box that says, "I detected no defects or deficiencies in the motor vehicle." Don't forget to sign your DVIR. There are 2 boxes in the lower right corner of the blue field that indicate you've done your pre-trip and post-trip inspections. Don't forget to put X's in those boxes. Next is an off-duty log. This driver enters the date, his tractor number, his driver code, and the company he works for, and then draws a line all the way across the off-duty and writes 24-hour in the total hours. He also writes 24 in the hours box. He then writes the dates and the city and state where he took his off-duty time. Don't write in the grid area. Write down in the blue field so that the log scanners can accurately read your days off. This driver took 3 days off, so he enters 3 days in the boxes in the lower right corner of the blue field, and only one log needs to be done for all 3 of these days. Any day off times that span a month, so like June 29th through to July 4th, there must be one log page done for each month. Don't forget to sign the log. Personal conveyance, also known as line 5. Time spent traveling to and from a driver's home to the terminal, the normal work reporting location, may be considered off-duty time. This cannot be used to travel from a delivery location to your home, even if you are not under dispatch. Short personal trips from a driver's en route lodging, hotel room, must be in an unladen vehicle. No trailer or empty straight truck. Movement is for a short distance solely for personal use. Food, laundry, or going to the store to buy personal items. A driver is relieved from work and all responsibilities for performing work. Remember, fueling. Anytime you spend fueling a commercial motor vehicle must be recorded as on duty, line 4. No alcoholic beverages may be consumed 4 hours before operating a commercial vehicle for any use. Tips for logging. Start your logs when you get in the truck. Have your logs ready when asked to present them. Only provide today's logs and the previous 7 days of logs. Complete your logs at the end of each day. Use only black ink. Don't forget miles, the commodity or load reference, the total to total your times, and to sign your logs. Drug and alcohol basics. No illegal drug use, ever. No alcohol use for 4 hours before reporting to drive. No alcohol use while operating a placarded vehicle, even if you are off duty. No alcohol use while on duty. No use of prescription drugs that affect your ability to drive or to operate a heavy machinery. Remember, marijuana use is prohibited for commercial drivers, including medical marijuana. Hazardous materials basics. Must have hazardous materials endorsement on your CDL. You must pass your hazardous materials training, available in the safety department. You must take security awareness training, which is also available in the safety department. Crash indicator basic. Remember, fault doesn't matter. If there is a fatality, an injury, or disabling damage, and the CDL driver is ticketed, a post-accident drug and alcohol test is required as soon as possible. The alcohol test must be done within 2 hours, and the drug test must be done within 32 hours. For vehicle maintenance, please view Welcome to Sunteck Part 2. This covers vehicle maintenance